Tabney Dozier, local ABC in Reno. Education. I talked to Jerome Bettis. Both of y'all went back to school to finish and get your degrees, which, round of applause for that. I think that's incredible. And I just think about all the adults that might be watching who thinking about going to school or finishing, or, you know, guardians telling their kids, you can play college ball, you can go to the league, but don't forget about your education. So my question is, was it a promise to yourself or a promise to your family? And then were you finishing your credits during the season? Just how did it all work?
It started, I went to Davidson for a reason, you know, obviously play basketball, but get a great education. And as things turned out, you know, leaving after my junior year was special, an opportunity I couldn't pass up. But I made a promise to my mom and Coach Bob McKillop that I would finish at some point. I did a lot of work right before or right after I left school. Obviously 13 years later, I finally finished. The motivation was, one, to fulfill that promise, kind of what you meant on the message it sends, but also my oldest daughter's getting older, and I wanted to make sure I didn't graduate the same year she did. So that was it. That was it.
That's awesome. And really quick, the night of the draft was 50th anniversary for Title IX. You mentioned Riley raising a daughter, having sisters. What I've been learning about Title IX is so much bigger than sports. It's civil rights as far as women's equality. But everybody was like, oh, the Warriors won, basketball's over. No, it's not, because we got Sue Bird and Sylvia Fowles retiring. The WNBA's in full swing. So I would just love to hear your thoughts on women's equality, women's sports, and just where we are and where we still need to be going.
I mean, you have to be living on the rock if you don't understand how important that mission is, and the awareness of, like you said, equality and the right investment in the women's basketball game and WNBA, but also in every sport. My wife and I were blessed to be able to start a scholarship fund at Davidson for women's athletics outside of basketball, because they have the most scholarship offerings there, but all the other sports were kind of lacking. So we started a fund there to create more opportunity, especially for young women from underrepresented communities. And the feedback we got about how much just being able to play in high school and college built confidence and belief that you could accomplish anything, whether in sports or outside of sports. And there's so many amazing women in positions of leadership. There needs to be more. And sports is a great conduit to do that. So, like you said, every Title IX, you know, started the wave, and, you know, we still have a lot of work to do. WNBA is an amazing space. Obviously, you know, thoughts and prayers and continued awareness around the Brittany Griner situation.
Yes.
So there's just a lot of positive momentum, but can't let our foot on the gas pedal, off the gas pedal on ways that we all can, you know, continue to make a difference and support women's athletics.
I love it. Thank you.